Men of God are influential whether you like it or yes. Seated there, they can turn things around. But a physical man would need phone calls to connect things. We need heaven to connect things.
People of God, I hope I find you well. It's Apostle Dr. E. Makore from Kingdom Celebration International Church, Upper Room International Ministries in the United Kingdom. Wherever you are, I still continue that may God's blessings continue to manifest in your life. Right, we are going to continue with the thread of miracles or thread miracles. The reason I'm doing this is to help somebody's faith to be uplifted. There are some people who are giving up because of their situations. There are some people who are giving up because of a lot of things that's happening in church. But I say, stay put, stay focused, keep the faith. God's time is the best time. You are not late for anything, but allow God's time to be qualified in your life. The last we did was Webster's testimony. The guy who was born HIV positive. That one is a master stroke of a miracle. I call it a master stroke of a miracle. But with Webster now, like I said, it takes us to a why. The reason I say to a why, it takes us into two different directions. We want to follow the thread of people that followed after that, or people that follow in the same lineage of HIV, and see what God has done with them, what hospitals they've been going through, and what hospitals they've been going to, and at the very same time, what's their current status. One thing I'll tell people, we don't tell anybody to come off their tablets. When you're HIV positive, continue on your tablets until it's proven by the doctors that you have got to come off. We are not the best people to advise, but we have great testimonies that's coming up. And with some other people, we've already started doing documentaries along those lines. And like I promised last time, I'll be teaching on HIV and AIDS so that people understand what we call a disease and what we call sickness when it comes to HIV. Then on Webster's, we take again the other side. Webster is not just from his own family. Webster has got relatives. Webster has got friends. Webster has got family that's close to him. So once a miracle passes through a person of Webster, like as I have always said, and I'll repeat to say, and I'll continue to say at the same time, if a person of Webster's status has been healed and people were knowing about it from his family, then I would definitely expect his family members to be coming to church or to be coming close to where the grace manifested. It's got to make somebody start to believe that there's a God in heaven. This is what I mean by testimonies have to start to do ministration. When Webster was healed, we go on then. Webster, we go into his family. In his family, there's one guy who actually ended up becoming one of my pastors, one of my favorite pastors. His name is Pastor Michael Muchero. Right. Michael Muchero is married to Webster's mother's sister. So let's put it right that way. We bring that family into perspective. Why? Number one, they were trying for a baby and the doctors had it written off. It's all documented. The documentation is there. The family will witness to what I'm saying. When they came to church, one day, they'd always been coming now. When they came one day, I just said to them, you know what? God's time is the best time. I see you this time next year pregnant. Prayers have to be laid, but I see you this time next year pregnant. Expect a child. It doesn't make sense, especially knowing your situation and that it's been written off by the doctors. It doesn't make sense. But our God, who is the God we serve, whose name is Jehovah Shammah, Jehovah Elohim, Jehovah El Shaddai, Jehovah El Kahil, he does a lot of things unexpected. These are the things we call miracles. Time passed, as was said, prayers laid, everything done. Before you know it, they were blessed with a bouncing baby boy. And to put icing on top of the cake, not only is he a boy, but he has got a very interesting name that the family had to give to him. How they came up with that name till this very day, I don't know. But it's a very interesting name. The name is called Munana. So basically, that's his name, that's on his birth certificate. The child is called Munana. Munana means miracle to those who don't understand my vernacular language. Munana means miracle. So basically, the child's name in English is called Miracle. They can't believe what happened. And nobody knows exactly what happened. Only God knows. We are only witnesses and we are there to testify. So when such happens, from Webster, he moves us to the next level of a testimony. We have the Munana issue. From there, we move on again to the next one. This one now becomes very, very interesting and exciting. I just thought I put these three on one video so that we don't continue to throw on too many videos. Right. Webster is done. A miracle is manifested. In comes the Micheros, Mr. and Mrs. Michero. They've got a child, Miracle. His name in my vernacular language is called Munana. We move on now from there. So everyone is carrying a testimony of their own. And there's something very interesting. This one, every time I think of it, it makes me laugh. It tears my lungs in laughter. I don't even know. I thank God for my ears. Otherwise, my smell will be going right round my head. The parents of the Micheros from the wife's side, they are elders in another certain church which I will not mention. They are elders in there. They've got a position in church. Thank God for that, because already they are Christians. They then came, you know, when you see great men, old men, mature men, yeah, men of wisdom starting to come to church, wanting to meet up with the men of God to thank him for whatever they would have seen, it shows that the hand of God has been made manifest and visible. As if that was not enough, they then came to me and told me their situation, which I don't think anybody else had ever been told. And it's very interesting that I'm bringing it out on the air here so that some people will learn. Right. Obvious. It taught me a lot of things. Some questions that I had been answered on there, and some questions that you might be having are also going to be answered on this video. The father came to me with the mother because I'm a relaxed person. They had seen that the man of God is a relaxed person. He's very approachable. You can easily and openly talk to him. He's very friendly. They put all those characters together. And they actually mentioned that to me. And I was very thankful unto God, because some things you do, but you don't know that's how you will be doing the things. So as time went on, they set me in the office and said, you know what, man of God? Everything else, we wish we could do anything, even me buying a house. This is unbelievable. I've seen it among my family. The hand of God is upon this place. But I have a problem. And I say, what's the problem? So he said to me, this is my wife. And I'm like, yeah, I know it's your wife. And he says, and this is me. And I say, yeah, I know it's you. What's your problem? And he says, we still need to be getting onto it. And I was like, what do you mean? Then he explained it in my vernacular language to make matters worse. So we were laughing at it. And I said, but Dad, I think you must be too old for what you're asking for. These things, we leave it for the young people and maybe people of my age. Then he said, no. It's got to be, if God can turn these things over, please let him do so. We you know what? We're all over in laughter. We were laughing our lungs out. As I say, okay, let me pray for you. I'm talking about a person who's almost in his 80s here, if I'm not mistaken. Late 70s, but 80s. I think 80s, I'm correct. He should be in his 80s, and the wife in the late 70s. So prayed. Before you know it, I'd forgotten about it. About 3 weeks to a month down the line, he comes to me and he says, you know what, I don't have a lot of money, but I want you to buy a drink. And I'm like, what's the drink for? I just want you to buy a drink. I'm like, what's the drink for? He says, it's unbelievable. I say, what's unbelievable? He says, you know that prayer you led for us? And I said, yes. He says, everything is now starting to function like I'm a 18-year-old boy. Then I like Gogo. Gogo is very humorous. Gogo says, we are like a new boy and a new girl. It's unbelievable. some of the prayer requests at times you just have to laugh. Then I was like to myself, so you guys, you guys, are you telling me that at your age you're on it? So, as if we are teenagers. We want to thank God for that. I'm like, oh really? Time went. After about 2 weeks, Gogo, like I said, she's very humorous. And Daddy's always a bit quiet, a bit shy, but he talks when you give him the floor. I think when he gets used to you, that's when he starts to talk. He was like, right. It's only happening once. Can you not add a bit more prayer for it to happen maybe twice or thrice? After that, I just said, I think let's thank God where we are. That other prayer, I can't lay it. All I thank God for is He answered your prayers. Everything else, no, let me leave it up to you. I have got a question. At what age do people continue to be meeting together? It left me with a lot of questions, and I answered as a man of God. Because at that age, I would have wanted to think that everything will be done. But still, we're thanking God for that. That's another miracle. That's another miracle and testimony within the family. So if we come from grandfather, and we come to the kids, and we come to the grandkids, it means to say God has been operating in that family. God's hand has been witnessed in that family. This is the family. Grandfather, father, son. Yeah? All these people have all witnessed the hand of God. What a mighty God we serve. Still from the Micheros, I'm still going to continue to bring you testimonies from within the very same family. This is what I keep saying. When the Holy Spirit visits your place, it's got to leave everyone and everything transformed. It's not a one-off. I don't believe that. I know it's not supposed to be a one-off. A lot of things are supposed to be happening. Thank God for that. Let's continue watch. Let's continue tuned in. I'm Apostle Dr. E. Makore.
We are so proud of him. He loves us so much, but we are